Carla DeLise Martin, and my birthday is November 16th, 1961, and I am 53 years old.
Okay. My name is Laura Miller. My date of birth is 7/1/59, and I'm from Sandy Mush, North Carolina. I've lived there practically all my life, and I'm 56 years old.
And I'm Zephyr Hudson, and I'm from here, Forest City, but I grew up in a little town called Douglas Grove, and I lived there for practically all my life, and then I moved here, and I'm 67 years old.
I'm Myrtle Parton, and I was born July the 31st, 1927.
And so, how old are you?
I'll be 88, my birthday.
My full name is Linda Ann Baynard. My birthday is April the 7th, 1943. I'm 72 years old.
My name is Linda McCraw Silvers. My birthday is 10/24/1956. I am 58. I won't be 59 till October. I lived in Rutherford, North Carolina.
When I went to work in the mills, you could quit one job if you got mad at them. You could quit one job and go next door nearly, because there was 5 or 6 plants just about right on top of each other. You could go. I could like quit Stonecutter today and go to work tonight at Spindale Mills, or you could get a job anywhere, anytime, if you were experienced. Like an experienced weaver could get a job just in an hour.
When I first started, when I walked in that room, the weave room, scared me to death. I had never seen nothing like it, never heard nothing like it. And I was like, okay, am I going to stay here? Because I don't know what's going on.
I believe I started out in knitting, which, consists of hanging ends, and the machine would do the knitting actually. And then I went from knitting to working on the tenor frame, which was actually a machine that, once the cloth had all the conditioning and dye and all in it, it went through there to set the fabric. And then I went from that department to inspection. And inspection, I was there for several years, and then from inspection I went to the industrial engineering department, where I did time studies and just whatever they asked me to do. So I was, pretty much had a good job there for, because, I was one of these people like, I'll try it, when something new came in, oh yeah, I'll try it. So, that gave me the opportunity to do different things, which I like, because I kind of get bored with the same thing all the time. And me and machines didn't get along well, because usually I'd end up getting hurt somehow. So the IE department worked better for me in inspection. So
I went to work then at Spindale Mills. Weaving for 23 years.
Well, mine was mostly on machines. I was in the drawing department, and in the drawing department, that was where the yarn would come to us, and we would put it through a machine, and when it would come in onto put it on a cone, we would thread it up, put it through the machine, work it in a comb, and then we would doff it off that comb, and then when we doff it off, we would put it on a buggy, and then they would send it downstairs, and then from there they would keep on till they made it into cloth. And then when I was at Mastercraft, I was in the winding room.
I got promoted to a supervisor, and I was a supervisor of 3 different departments: the cones and the tubes and the threads.
Then I went to Snyder Mills. That Snyder Mills is where I learned to weave, though. I worked in the warper room at Snyder Mills. I started out there in the warper room, and then I went, got into the weaving program, and I learned to weave there.
Well, how did you like weaving?
I loved it. It'd get on my nerves so bad I couldn't stand it, but it was a good job. It was hard, but it was good.
Well, first both of us worked second shift. We both worked second shift. And then 4 years later we had Jada, and one of us had to move to a different shift because I wasn't paying daycare, and so he moved to third. So we switch off. And then I was on first. He was on second. We switch off in the parking lot. By the time he went to third, because he went to third to be a supervisor. So by the time he went to third shift, Jada was old enough to stay here long enough for me to get from Mastercraft to here, which was like 5 minutes.
Well, for me, it was okay because my mother was still living, so I wasn't concerned about my child was going to be safe or taken care of, whatever, because she'd babysit it for me. But the only thing was I worked second shift, and so when my son started kindergarten, I knew I wouldn't have opportunity to be with him, so I asked my supervisor if I could go to first shift, so I was able to go to first shift, so I would have, he was in school, and then when I got out of work, he was home, so that gave me time to be with him. So, it was, being a single parent was not easy, but you do what you have to do.
When I get up in the mornings, I was on the second shift, I get up in the mornings, I do my work and fix lunch and leave them, this supper, and it's just a regular routine. Get up in the mornings and all my washing, ironing, and everything to do, and then go to work 8 hours, come home, and go to bed the next morning and be the same for back during World War II, I was working, that's back during World War II, and we bought little books of tickets, and they put a bus on that would take people to work, and so I would walk to Gilkey and catch a bus and ride to Stonecutter.
Wow.
And then walk from Spindale Drug Store over to the Stonecutter, work 8 hours, and then walk back and catch that bus and come back home. Yeah, we're just about everybody around here, and up in Shingle Holler, and that's just about, the textile mills is just about where everybody worked around here.
I had a better quality of life when I worked in the mill.
Talk about that a little bit.
Because we made more money.
Yeah.
It was easier, should I say, maybe. I don't know. It was just, I made more money, and I didn't have to worry as bad, you know. And when my kids wanted, you know, when kids are small and when they're going to school, they like come home, so-and-so has this and so-and-so has that, and you want your kids to have what so-and-so has, you know, or be, you know. And it wasn't, you know, it wasn't so bad, you know. Like on Fridays, me and the girls would, that's one thing, on Fridays, me and Jennifer and Kristen would always go out and eat, and I'd take them, we used to have goodies, I'd take them to goodies, I'd get them some clothes and stuff. That was our day, Fridays.
It was fun. It was fun. And I see people at the store, gas station or whatever, and we always say we need to have a Mastercraft reunion. Because some of us are older now. Well, all of us are older now, but some of us are old, you know. And we need to have a Mastercraft reunion so we can see each other. Because when we see each other, it's like we were like a family.
Working in the mill, it was like a big old family. You spent sometimes more time with them than you did at home, according to how many hours you worked a week, you know. And you got close, you know. You were like just a big family. You cared about each other, you know.
It's more than a job. It's like losing your family when you are part of your family. When you work with people for so long, it's like you lose your family.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's devastating. Really, it really is.
Back then, I said, am I going to have to be tying strings all my life? You know, like it was a bad job. But then, looking back, no. It's the best job I ever had. I can't describe it. It's like you standing there and you watching something be produced, something made.
I mean, that's all it was in this county. And it was okay because everybody was on the same level. You know, well, people had different positions, but you know, nobody looked at you like, you work at a cotton mill? So sometimes I get offended when somebody says to me, you worked in a mill? I'm like, yeah, I did. And I make good money. And, you know, it didn't kill me.
So I stayed until I was one of the last ones to go out of the weave room. Yep. And I mean, to walk in there and see 96 looms, and then walk in there and see 50 looms, and walk in there and see 24 looms. I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy. And it was pitiful, and we cried. Every time somebody left, we cried. It was, I mean, we were like family.
Yeah.
It was so awful. That's all we had, and that's all that I had ever known. And everybody was just so close, you know, and you knew you were not gonna be. It was just horrible. So I loved working at Spindale Mills. I loved it there more than anywhere because I had worked so long there, and everybody was you just knew them, and they knew all about your whole life. They knew you just like your family did knew you. So it was really like devastating to me. I was scared. At my age, can I get another job? What if I can't get another job? I'm not old enough to retire. What am I going to do? You know,